Yes, good morning, friends. Now, this is our last lecture for unit number one. After this lecture, in next session, I will start the unit number two. Okay. So, in this lecture, we will see some theorems related to AC circuit analysis, and let's start. Now, I hope you solve this problem. If anyone get any answer, please tell what you get. See, you need to find out here current. So कितना है आपका करंट? Yes, anyone calculated? What is the value of current? Current for this branch. Yes, anyone? Solve this problem. Now see, this is a AC circuit, right? And uh, so how to proceed it? You have to use this superposition theorem, Thevenin's theorem, and Norton's theorem. So first of all, we will see the superposition theorem. I already explained what is the superposition theorem, how to proceed the problem with this theorem. First of all, you have first of all, superposition theorem is applicable on which circuit where the minimum number of sources is two, right? So there are two sources, so you can use it by each step you have to deactivate one source, right? So on first step, on first step, step first, I active only this voltage source, or you can say deactivate current source, current source. So when you deactivate this current source, so current source is what happened when we deactivate the current source. This current source is removed from this branch. So current source act as a open circuit. So open circuit this branch. So what is the circuit? See, your circuit looks like that. One more thing here, see note, whenever the this value is given in this form, right? So so it is nothing but the value in given in rms value, or I can say that, for example, v is equal to vm sine omega t, right? This is our standard equation for instantaneous voltage. And what is a vrms here? Vrms is equal to Vm by root 2, right? But when we write this equation in polar form, so this is nothing but the polar coordinate, means this value in polar form. So when we write this in polar form, so this is nothing but the V effective, V effective at an angle of phi, right? So this omega t is some angle, let's say here is phi. So we represent that angle for to this effective form. It means, what is this v effective? V effective nothing but the, this v effective nothing but the vrms value, value of vrms, which is nothing but vm by root 2. सो प्लीज़ नोट दैट जब भी आपको ऐसा वैल्यू दिया रहेगा कोई भी सोर्सेस में, तो आपको कंसिडर करना है कि आर एम एस वैल्यू है, राइट? बिकॉज दिस इज अ इफेक्टिव वैल्यू. So this is nothing but the RMS value. When the value of any source is given in this format, for example, Vm sine omega t plus minus phi. So in that case, this Vm is nothing but the maximum value. To convert is into the RMS, you need to divide by root 2, right? So whenever you calculate the power, so in that case you need to RMS value. So in that case, if the in question or in circuit, if the value is given in this format, so you need to first convert in RMS value and then use this value to for calculating use for for calculating power, right? Power. So this should be note that you need to take care of this value. Okay, so here the all value is RMS value, right? So now see, we deactivate this current source. So what is the value of this? First of all, your circuit is looks like that, which is 2 J2, and this is a current through 3 ampere, which is I take here I1, right? And this is a open circuit, so no current flow from this branch because the current source is removed from that branch. Okay, so we need to find out the current. So what superposition theorem state that? According to superposition theorem, so I is equal to I1 plus I2, right? This is a superposition theorem. So in first case, when I deactivate this, so calculate this I1 current. Now see, this is in series form because this circuit is open, so no current flowing from this side. So add in, means calculate this I1. How to calculate it? I1 is equal to voltage divided by this impedance. So 10 at an angle of 0 divided by, see, this is a resistance, so 2 plus 3 is a 5, 5 plus J2, right? 5 plus J2. Now calculate by using your calci. When you calculate is this, you will get a 1.85 at an angle of minus 21.8 degree. Okay, now step 2, in step 2, deactivate this voltage source. Now while activating this deactivate voltage source, right? When deactivate this voltage source, you need to short circuit, right, this voltage source, and redraw this circuit. So your circuit is looks like that. In second case, we assume their current flowing is I2, and this is a minus 1 J, this is a 1 ohm resistance, and how much current is flowing from this side is, total current is 5 at an angle of 30 degree. Okay, so find out this I2 current. Use current division rule. What is the value of I2? I2 is equal to sum of I2 is equal to total current. What is the value of total current? 5 at an angle of 30 degree, right? And multiply this into the impedance. So we use current division rule. So opposite resistance or opposite impedance divided by total impedance, right? So what is the opposite branch impedance is 2 plus J2, right, divided by total impedance is 2 plus J2 plus 3, right? So this is 5 plus J2. Now calculate this by putting in your calculator calci. So when you calculate this value, you will get 2.626 at an angle of 53.19 degree. Okay, now by use this superposition theorem, I is equal to I1 plus I2, which is equal to this 1.85 at an angle of minus 21.8 degree plus 2.626 at an angle of 53.19 degree. Now when you calculate this, you will get this I value, I equal to 3.58 at an angle of 23.2 degree. So calculate this value by using calci, and the step is similar to your DC theorem, right? But the difference is that here you need to take care of this angle. Okay, and this inductor and capacitor also consider, because this is a AC signal, so you do not short circuit the inductor or open circuit the capacitor. So you need to consider this value also. So that is only the difference in AC and DC theorems. Now, second things is that you need to calculate the this same current with the help of Thevenin's theorem. Okay, so by Thevenin's theorem, what is a step one in Thevenin's theorem? You have to deactivate the target terminal, right? Or you have to remove the target terminal. What is the your target terminal here? Now this is the circuit, right? By when you deactivate the target terminal, this is 2 ohm and this J2. This is your first step to remove your target terminal, and this is the 5 at an angle of 30 degree. Now this is your first step. After removing the target terminal element, you need to find out the this value. What value? ZTH and ATH, VTH. So let's say this is a AB. So find out the ZTH from this side. So when you find out the ZTH, so what is the process? We already seen in our DC theorem. We need to short circuit voltage source, right? Voltage source, and open circuit current source, right? For finding for ZTH, for finding ZTH, right? So when you short circuit this two terminal and open circuit this two terminal, open circuit, and this is a short circuit, then what is a ZTH? ZTH is nothing but the this is a open circuit, so current can't flow from this side, and this is short circuit. So what is the ZTH is 2 plus J2. Okay, ZTH is nothing but the 2 plus J2. And what's the second step? Second step is this, or you can say this is a third step for finding the VTH. VTH कैसे find करोगे? You need to calculate the current flowing from this side. Now see how to calculate this VTH. What is your what is the circuit of for this? Redraw that circuit and find the current flowing through that circuit, and mark the polarity of all element, and use the KVL for finding this VTH. So you need to find here VTH. This is a 5 at an angle of 30 degree. Now see, when you use how to calculate this VTH. Now see, this voltage source and this current source are in series. Both are connected in series. So which source is dominant to? So current source is dominant in this circuits, right? So take the direction of current with respect to this current source is, now the current flowing from this side. So this is a positive terminal, this is a negative, this is a positive, this is negative, this is positive, negative, positive, negative, right? So across that element your direction with respect to this current source. So apply KVL here. When I apply KVL here, when I apply KVL, see, you know the direction of this current source, so don't apply the KVL in whole circuit. You need to calculate only this VTH, right? So use KVL only this circuit, because see, voltage drop across this current source you don't know. So when you apply KVL from this circuit, so you are not able to find the VTH. But when you apply the KVL from this side, see, all quantities are known. Only this VTH is unknown. So Let assume the polarity of this VTH. I assume this upside polarity is positive and this is negative, right here. This is my assumption. If my assumption goes wrong, then whatever you value get, the value will be negative, right? If my assumption gets wrong. Now apply this KVL for in this loop. When I apply KVL in this loop, what is the equation? See, I consider first polarity, that is minus VTH minus VTH plus this, what current flow is 5 at an angle of 30. So what is the impedance? What is the total impedance? Is 2 plus J2, right? And polarity is same because the current direction is same. So 2 plus J2 is your impedance, and what is the current is 5 at an angle of 30, right? And what is the this voltage is positive of 10 at an angle of 0. Now equal to 0, right? Now solve this VTH. When you solve this VTH, you will get 19.31 at an angle of 45 degree. Okay, this that much amount of value you will get when you solve this. Now you are calculating these two quantities. Now what is the equivalent? Thevenin's equivalent is nothing but the voltage source. What is the value of this voltage source is 19.31 at an angle of 45 degree, is connected with Thevenin's impedance. What is the Thevenin's impedance? Is ZTH equal to 2 plus J2. Okay. And what is your open output target terminal is 3 ampere, 3 ohm, right? 3 ohm is your target terminal. Now you need to calculate this I. Now how to calculate this I? See, this is in current series combination. So similar way, calculate for calculating I is total voltage, that is 19.31 at an angle of 45 degree, divided by total impedance. So now this is a in a resistive element, and this resistive element is add up. So what is 2 plus 3 is 5 plus J2, right? When you calculate this value, you will get I is equal to 3.58 at an angle of 23.2 degree ampere. Now, when you use this Norton's theorem, see, superposition is over. Norton's we already seen now. Now third is sorry, Norton's. Now we see the Norton's theorem, right? What happened in Norton's theorem? See, ZTH is same, which we are calculated in Thevenin theorem. ZTH is equal to Zn, which is equal to 2 plus J2 ohm, right? And what is the second is we need to calculate IN, right? IN. How to calculate IN? Short circuit the target terminal. Short circuit the target terminal. So this is nothing but the 10 at an angle of 0. For each step, you need to draw the this circuit. Okay, if you solve the detailed problem in objective type, no need to draw this circuit. Find out the answer and take your answer. Now see, this is nothing but the minus J1. This is 1 ohm, and this is 5 at an angle of 30 degree, right? In Norton's theorem, how you need to calculate this short circuit current, right? So how to calculate this Norton's current? Calculate this value. Now how to calculate this value? Now see, this is a short circuit element, right? So this two node is short circuited, so this circuit is complete itself, अपने आप में complete circuit पूरा है, and this circuit also completed. uh, so In is equal to, let's say this is this current, we know this is 5 at an angle of 30. Let's, this current is I1. So In is equal to I1 plus 5 at an angle of 30 degree. Okay, so calculate this I1. And how, what is the value of I1? I1 is nothing but the total voltage which is given here divided by total impedance. What is total impedance for this circuit is 2 plus j2, right? So this is 2 plus j2. When you calculate this value, and when you calculate this I1, so and put this value in this equation, so net the final answer of IN is 6.83 at an angle of 0 degree. Okay, so calculate this I1 and put, when you putting this I1 to this value, you will get final answer as 6.83 at an angle of 0 degree. Now draw the equivalent this thin, equivalent circuit for Norton's theorem. Equivalent circuit, equivalent circuit for Norton's theorem. Okay, so this is the current source connected with the Norton's impedance with the open output target terminal. So what is your target terminal here? That is 3 ohm resistance, right? So this is 3 ohm resistance is your target terminal. Now what is the impedance? Zth is 2 plus j2, right? Which is Zn here. For Norton's is Zn. And what is the value of IN is 6.83 at an angle of 0 degree. And here you need to calculate this I. So similarly, use here current division rule. You need to calculate I here. So I is equal to total current is 6.83 at an angle of 0 into what is the opposite branch impedance is 2 plus j2 divided by sum of both impedance, that is 2 plus j2 plus 3, which is equal to 5 plus j2, right? When you calculate this value, you will get the same value which I already calculated in superposition theorem by superposition and Thevenin's theorem, which is 3.58, right? 3.58 at an angle of 23.2 degree. So that is all about the how to proceed these theorems in AC circuit analysis. The process is same, but here you need to take care of the value of capacitance and inductance, and uh, cautiously put that value in your uh, equations. Okay, and solve the value with the help of calci. And please noted that your mode of your calci, it should be radian mode when you put this value in such a form, or when you put the value in degree form, so it should be in degree mode, right? Now see, I hope you are calculating this value also. So which theorem you are using for calculating the current I in this branch? Yes, anyone? Which theorem is very much useful to calculating for this current through this branch? 1 ohm, 1 Henry inductor. Now see, here both AC voltage and DC voltage are given. So here you can using the superposition is the best method for calculating this current, because in superposition theorem we use only one source at a time, right? So in any frequency, or you can say not in any circuit, which consist multiple multiple frequency, use superposition theorem. Use superposition theorem, right? Okay, so in any circuit which is in time domain analysis, and using the multiple frequency in that circuit. So superposition theorem is a best method for finding the circuit element. So here you need to calculate the I element, current I. So use that superposition theorem. Now what is the step one for this? Step one. What is the step one? Is nothing but the deactivate this voltage source. I deactivate first this DC source. So what is the current in your circuit? Now see, this is a sine in the form of sine omega t. Okay, so uh, in that case you need to the use, you can also use the vm, or you can also use the rms value. So here I am using the maximum value. Okay, or you can use directly here rms value, that is vm by root 2, which is equal to vrms. Okay, and put that value in this form. So calculate this using directly here vrms at an angle of which, what angle is, what is the phase displacement here? Nothing. So you can simply write here 0 degree. Now this is, see, this is a value of omega, so put this value in this l. So you will get the value of xl. So what is value of xl is, uh, this is 2 and this is 2, so that is 2 into 2 is 4, right? So j 4 ohm. And similarly here 2 into 1 is 2 ohm, j 2 ohm. Now this is farad. So what is a xc? Xc is equal to 1 upon, xc is equal to 1 upon omega c, right? So put the value of omega, omega की वैल्यू कितनी है? 2 है, right? And capacitor 1 by 6. So this is 2 and this is 1 by 6, which is 3, 3 ohm, right? So what is the value of j? xc is, xc को हम माइनस जे एक्सी से रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे, राइट? सो दिस इज -3 ohm. Now this is a resistance which is 2 ohm. When I deactivated this voc, you need to short circuit that. When you short circuit this, your circuit is looks like that, and in that case you need to find out the this value of current. So when you solve this current, you will get I1. I directly write here, you have to solve this circuit. Okay, so 10 at an angle of -90 degree divided by root 2. When you solve this, you will get this value. Now in second step you need to deactivate this current source, sorry, this ac source, and use the dc source here. So in second step deactivate this and use this. So put all value here and solve it. Okay, so in second step this is your circuit. So when you calculate this value in second step, you will get the current here. Now see, when you deactivate this AC source for this DC theorem analysis, so in that case you need to use the concept of the DC theorem, because आपने AC सर्किट को तो डीएक्टिवेट कर दिया इस सर्किट से, अब आपके पास DC सोर्स है. सो DC सोर्स तो अपने DC बिहेवियर के जैसे एक्ट करेंगे, राइट? सो ये आपका शॉर्ट सर्किट हो जाएगा यहाँ से. So this is get short circuited in this theorem for DC circuit. तो ये शॉर्ट सर्किट हो जाएगा तो आपका होल करंट यहीं से फ्लो होगा, which is nothing but the I2. Okay, so what is the current of this I2? This is 10 and this is nothing but a 2 ohm. So 10 divided by 2 is 5 ampere. I is nothing but is a 5 ampere. So what is the value of I? Sum of these two currents, which is nothing but a 5 plus 10 by root 2 at an angle of -90 degree. Replace this value in terms of sine omega t also. So when you replace this value is equal to This is nothing but your 10 sine 2t minus of 90 degree. Now see, when I replace this value in terms of sine omega t, so this is a maximum value, that's why I am taking only 10 here. So this is a expression, or this is the value of this current when you solve it by superposition theorem. Now similar way you can also solve this also, but there is dependent source is given to you. Now this is a voltage source and current dependent, so current dependent voltage source, and this is a voltage dependent voltage source, right? So this dependent voltage is this, and for this the current is this. So I hope you calculate this value. So here you need to calculate the VTH. So VTH you need to calculate to the load resistance. Okay, so this is your load resistance. So you need to calculate VTH from this side. So for calculating VTH, open circuit the target terminal. When you open circuit it, so current flowing from this side is zero, right? So when you open circuit it, this current is zero, and when the current is zero, so see, when I first step is open circuit the target terminal. When you open circuit it, this current is zero. So what is your circuit is looks like? See, such that when I open circuit that target terminal, so this current is zero. So this is also zero. So this becomes zero. So this is a short circuited, right? This is a short circuited, and because current is zero, so the factor is not effect many more to this branch, means there is no drop. Only we will get here VTH. Okay, so this is zero. I is zero here when you open circuit the target terminal element, and this is a 10 volt. So I can say VTH is equal to 10 volt, 10 V. And what is value of this V? This V value is nothing but the here V. Okay, and what is the value of this V? What is the value of this V? See, current is current flowing in that circuit is zero. I is equal to zero. So voltage drop across this resistance ohm is also zero, and this whole voltage is appear across this inductor, right? So that I can say that this voltage is also appear, or you can say put this value as this factor. Okay, or you can use the use sorry here you need to use the voltage division rule, right? Because this resistance and this inductor both are connected in series. So this is a resistance and this is a inductor, right? And both are connected in series, so you need to calculate the voltage division rule for finding this voltage. So for voltage division rule, so this value of V is nothing but what is the total voltage here? 100 at an angle of 53.12 into divided by J4 divided by 3 plus J4, right? When you calculate this value, you will get 80 at an angle of 90-degree volt. Now put this value in this V, so you will get 10 into 80 at an angle of 90 degree. So when you solve this, you will get 800 at an angle of 90 degree as a your voltage. So this is your Thevenin's voltage for this circuit. Now I hope you solve this circuit, and if not solve, then see these steps, and similar problem is also there in your MST. So before your MST, I will take one test in next Saturday. So be prepared and see the this theorem, which is a maximum power transfer theorem. Now in AC circuit, maximum power transfer theorem, there are some special cases. I already told when I teaching the your DC theorem. In that case, I मैंने पहले ही कहा था कि आपको AC theorem में there are some cases are there. So for DC circuit it is very simple, but is when you go through the AC circuit, see what is the special case here. Now first is, this is a general case. Okay, if if the circuit is given to you in your question is just like that, your load impedance is variable, means you can vary this resistance, and you can also vary this inductance. Okay, means your total ZL is varying, right? So you are able to find out the unity power factor by adjusting this value similar and opposite to each other, means your phasor must be unity factor. Okay, means this ZS and Z and this value get cancel out to each other. So this is possible because this load is a variable form. So in that circuit you are able to achieve the your power factor as a unity, right? Can be achieved as a power factor as a unity. But when, and we already seen in our DC theorem, at that case your efficiency is 50%, right? Your efficiency get half. Now, question is how to achieve, how to balance this. For that you need to take the conjugate of one of them. Okay, you if your load resistance is vary, so set your load impedance in such a way that your value of that load resistance is equal to the conjugate of this Z impedance. Okay, source impedance. So when you set your load value such that, so this inductive factor or reactive factor is getting cancelled out, and your power factor will be unity. Now at that case, now this is a general case. So here you can directly use this formula. Pmax is equal to Vs square by 4 Rs. This is nothing but the Vth square by 4 Rth. Okay, this is similar for this general case. Now see here, this for calculating power, you must take care of that this Vts must be your RMS value, right? And the question also asks in a statement form, Pmax occurs in a load if ZL is equal to Zth. Your load resistance must be the conjugate of this Thevenin's resistance, and Thevenin's resistance is nothing but your this source, right? See what is the Thevenin's equivalent circuit is? Vth, Vth, Zth, right? Zth divided by your and series combination of your load, right? This is load. So this is only possible when your Zth means Thevenin's voltage i- is a conjugate of your load resistance, or load resistance is a conjugate of your Thevenin's impedance. Okay, then only you will get the this. And what is the condition is, the circuit must be a linear active bilateral circuit. Okay, and your load resistance is variable. Now the special second case, or you can say special case one, in that only resistive load is given to you, there are no reactive load. So what happened in that case, you need to balance the circuit, right? For calculating the maximum power transfer. So for that you need to make this load is equal to the this magnitude of this source impedance. So how to calculate is, now see these equations. This is your ZL. ZL is equal to ZS conjugate mode of this ZS, and when you calculate it, you need to take the total magnitude of this complex quantity. When you calculate it this RL, you are able to find the power. How to find it? First of all, calculate this RL. पहले आपको RL कैलकुलेट करना पड़ेगा आपका लोड रेजिस्टेंस का, एंड दिस वैल्यू इज रीसब्स्टिट्यूट टू द ओरिजिनल सर्किट. एक बार आपने ये RL कैलकुलेट कर लिया, उसके बाद आपको दिस वैल्यू फिर से आपको उसी सर्किट में पुट करना होगा, एंड रिस्पेक्टिव सर्किट के लिए फिर जो आपका नया सर्किट बनेगा उसमें आपकी RL की वैल्यू इसके बराबर होंगी. बट एंड जो भी सर्किट आपका फ्रेम होगा उसके अकॉर्डिंग उस सर्किट में कितना करंट फ्लो हो रहा है आपको करंट फाइंड आउट करना पड़ेगा. Accordingly, you need to find the current, and once you calculate the current value, with the help of that, you need to find the power. And in that case, how to find the power? power is nothing but the current into this RL. Because you need to find the maximum power transfer to the this current. So at that case, P max is equal to I square R, right? I square Z. You can also say that I square Z ZL. सो इसमें क्या होगा, पहले आपको आर दिस आर एल की वैल्यू यहाँ पे पुट करना पड़ेगा। उसके बाद आपको करंट फाइंड आउट करना पड़ेगा यहाँ पे। ओके, करंट फाइंड आउट करना पड़ेगा। वंस यू कैलकुलेट द करंट, देन यू नीड टू कैलकुलेट द पावर ट्रांसफर टू दिस लोड। सो व्हाट इज द पावर ट्रांसफर टू दिस लोड इज नथिंग बट द पावर कंज्यूम बाय दैट लोड, राइट? सो जितना कंज्यूम हो रहा है उतना ट्रांसफर हो रहा है। सो यू आर फाइंडिंग द पावर indirectly here. In general case, we are using that formula directly, but here first of all you need to calculate the value of this load resistance or load impedance, and put resubstitute that load value in your original circuit and calculate the respective current, and then you are able to find the maximum power transfer to that load. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now the special case B, in that the complex, or you can say complex impedance is given to you. Okay, but in that load resistance only resistive element are variable, and this is load, this inductive value is fixed. So when this is a variable and other is fixed, then in that case the same concept, here you need to Pmax occurs in the load if RL, means this resistance, you can change according to your convenience, right? So here you put this value of RL in such a way that your this mode of this RL plus JX XS प्लस जे एक्सएल, मीन्स इसका वैल्यू आपको इतना क्वांटिटी के बराबर रखना पड़ेगा कि इतना रखना पड़ेगा, देन ओनली यू विल गेट द मैक्सिमम वैल्यू ऑफ power transfer to the load. So when you put that value in this circuit, you will get this is as your final equations, right? And the process is same. Once you calculate this value RL, then put that value back to the load and find out the current. Once you find out the current here, okay, then you are able to find the Pmax occur to that load. So Pmax is nothing but the I square ZL. So I hope this is also clear to you. Similarly, special case 3, here ZL can be achieve, means equal to ZS. ZL को आप ZS बना सकते हो, मीन्स लोड रिएक्टेंस को आप सोर्स रिएक्टेंस के बराबर बना सकते हो विथ अपोजिट फेज, राइट? So then here you can achieve your power factor as a unity, because once you can vary this, so you can able to cancel out these two terms, right? So Pmax occur in that load if XL is equal to minus XC. So once you get cancel out these terms, then resubstitute value of this ZL and find out the current in that circuit, and similar way you can find the maximum power transfer to that load. So here Pmax is also I square ZL, right? Or I hope this is clear. Now, one question is here. You need to calculate this Pmax transfer to that this ZL. Now see what value of ZL. See here, this is the ideal case if ZL is equal to, or ZX is equal to minus minus XL, and RS put as a value of 0, then Pmax is occur. Now see, this is a in series combination. If you have the, मीन्स आपके पास ऐसा कोई है अरेंजमेंट जिसमें आप इसकी वैल्यू जीरो पुट कर दो, बिकॉज रेजिस्टिव एलिमेंट ऑलवेज लॉसेस आर इंक्रीजेस। नाउ दिस इज बोथ आर इन सीरीज। नाउ जितना रेजिस्टेंस आपका जीरो होगा, सो उतना कैसा मैक्सिमम करंट फ्लो होगा, राइट, इन सर्किट। सो इफ यू पुट रिड्यूस दैट वैल्यू दिस आर एस टू द जीरो and increase and equal this to reactance in opposite phase, so these two reactants are getting cancelled out and whole current is flow for this resistive load only. So then at that case your power max means power getting maximum and your loss is minimum, and that all power is utilized by this load. So this is the ideal case. For ideal power system we arrange such a system which cancel out this reactance term, and we try to manage this rs means source resistance to zero to reduce your losses. So this such a type of system we are using in our power system. Okay, now this is a question. uh, Here you need to calculate the pmax to the load. Here you need to calculate the power max to the load, right? So this is a resistive element. Okay, this is a resistive element and this is a variable. So first of all, what is a means how to proceed, how to decide to calculate this RL. You need to find out the ZTH, right? ZTH, that is the best way. First of all, calculate ZTH and VTH here. Then we will see how the circuit is looks like. First is you need to calculate ZTH and then VTH. Now you are dealing with power, so we take care of this value also. Now this is in polar form, so this is already in RMS value, right? RMS value, already in RMS value. Now solve it. When you solve it, when I find the ZTH, how to find out the ZTH? Short circuit both the sources and find out the equivalent impedance. So when you find this value, you will get, now see, this is 6 plus j8 and this is 6 plus j8. Both are equal impedance and connected in parallel with respect to this branch. So divide by 2, right? Which is equal to 3 plus 4j in ohm. And what is the value of VTH? VTH VTH is nothing but the, when you calculate the VTH, you need to use the KVL here. KVL give directly the value of this VTH. Now, what is the value of VTH is, when you calculate it, you will get 100 volt. Okay, calculate this value and match this your answer with this. Okay, when you calculate this, then substitute that value with this, with your this target terminal or load resistance. Now see, this is your 100 volt at an angle of 0. What is your impedance? Impedance is 3 plus 4j. And what is your load resistance? Load resistance is variable, right? Which is a resistive load, which is variable. So you calculate this RL. Now this is only the resistive element, so you need to calculate the current flowing through that. Okay, now tell me, this is what type of which type of special case? I think this is special case 1, right? Special case of A. So use that concept. How to calculate this RL? This RL, this RL is nothing but the mod of this ZTH. What is the value of ZTH is 3 plus 4j. So when you calculate it, under root of 3 square, right? 3 square plus under root of 4 square. When you calculate it, this value, you will get under root of 9 plus under root of 16, which is equal to 5. So what is the value of this ZL is equal to 5 ohm. Only when you put this value in this circuit, then what is the value of current here? I is nothing but the total voltage divided by total impedance. What is the total impedance? 3 plus 4j plus 5. So when you solve this, you will get 100 at an angle of 0. 5 plus 3 is 8 plus 4j. And when you solve this, the final answer of this IL is nothing but the 11.18 at an angle of minus 26.5. Okay, 50. Now once you calculate this value of current, now what is the value of Pmax? Pmax nothing but the I square R. What is our I square? 1.18, 1.18 square into R, which is its which is equal to 625 watt. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now this is only give the phasor difference, means deviation of that vector of I with respect to reference point, right? So for calculating Pmax, we need to this use this real value. Now this concept of this complex power. Now when you see the circuit, if any one quantity is given in the complex form, then when you observe that your power is nothing but the Vi. For example, this is load is given to you, and current, complex current is flowing through that element. So what is the value, or what is the equation of this voltage and current is V is equal to V at an angle of this alpha, and I is equal to I at an angle of beta. And power is nothing but the Vi. When you calculate this Vi, so by equations this is plus, but this is wrong according to the phasor. See, each and every element is this difference is with the reference point. So here some reference point is given to you, right? यहाँ पे आपका कोई रेफरेंस पॉइंट दिया होगा, सो आपका जो वोल्टेज है उस रेफरेंस वेक्टर से अल्फा एंगल से डेविएट कर रहा है, राइट? एंड योर करंट उस रेफरेंस पॉइंट से बीटा एंगल से ये कर रहा है। बट जब हम पावर की बात करते हैं, सो पावर में हम एंगल बिटवीन वोल्टेज एंड करंट चेक करते हैं, राइट? सो एंगल बिटवीन वोल्टेज एंड करंट इज नथिंग बट द अल्फा माइनस ऑफ बीटा। सो आपका जो पावर इसमें होता है, जो आपका एपरेंट पावर में होता है, सो वहाँ पे आपको अल्फा माइनस बीटा के फॉर्म में आना चाहिए, राइट? बट व्हेन यू डायरेक्टली मल्टीप्लाई दिस वैल्यू, यू विल गेट your real part is same, but your phasor part is wrong. So actual this is the right value, but when you directly multiply you will get this value. So how to correct it? You need to take the conjugate. So you need to take the conjugate of this current load, current value. Okay, अगर आप इसका conjugate ले लोगे, so see, when you take the conjugate of this, so conjugate means you need to take minus of this beta factor, and when you multiply this, so this angle are sum of, and your phasor and your equation both are match. So that's why in complex quantity we are using the conjugate method. So similarly, see this problem here, you need to determine the three physical power of load, that is V is equal to, means apparent power, reactive power, and real power. So first of all, use the complex conjugate method. Apparent power is equal to V into I conjugate. Now V into I conjugate, what is the value of V? V here is 2 plus J7. But when I use the conjugate of I, you need to take the 5 minus J1. Okay, I using here conjugate value. So when you solve it, you will get 17 plus J33. Okay, and the final answer is nothing but the, so now see, you will get 17 plus J33. Okay, so this real part, what represent this real part? 17 plus J33, which is nothing but the P plus JQ, right? P plus JQ. So this part represent active power. So this is part active power. So this is P and this is J. Sorry, Q. So which is nothing but the active power and reactive power. Active power and reactive power. So what is the value of total power is nothing but the square of this 17 square plus 33 square. When you calculate this value, you will get 37.1 volt ampere as your apparent power mod of this. I hope this is clear to you. Now, the similar concept for intelligence theorem, you need to take conjugate of current for calculating the power. So that's why we are seeing here the conjugate method, because this method are useful for you for in your intelligence theorem for balancing the any circuit. So here we this theorem is used, or this application used in your intelligence theorem. Now tell me that solve this problem. Here you need to for what value of supply frequency of the circuit given below between terminal A and B act as a ideal current source. Now try to solve this problem. Yes, anyone has any doubt till now? Tell me. Try to solve this problem. Yes. Now see, this is a current source, right? You need to convert this into ideal current source. So सप्लाई फ्रीक्वेंसी कितनी लोगे जो कि ये सर्किट आपका आइडियल करंट सोर्स बन जाए, राइट? सो हिंट हियर फॉर आइडियल करंट सोर्स what is the internal resistance of ideal current source? Tell me now, what is the internal resistance of ideal current source? कितना होता है आइडियल करंट सोर्स का इंटरनल रेजिस्टेंस? यस, एनीवन? प्लीज टेल what is the value of internal resistance of this ideal current source?
Sir, it will be infinite.
Yes, so it will be infinite. So you need to place the value of frequency such that your z equal to infinite, right? So calculate z equivalent here. Calculate z in equivalent. Now, what is the value of this in terms of ohm? That is jxl, right? So xl equal to j omega l. So what is the value of l is j omega by 16. And what is this xc? Minus j xc is equal to minus j by omega c. What is the value of c? Is nothing but the minus j omega, because c value is 1. Okay, so this is your minus j xc. Now this take the parallel combination of these two, because your z equivalent is nothing but the this across this two element which is connected in parallel. Okay, so when I calculate this z equivalent, you need to solve this equation. When you solve this, you will get 1 by 16 divided by j omega by 16 minus j omega by j omega, right? ऐसा कुछ वैल्यू आपको मिलेगा. नाउ यू नो द आइडियल करंट सोर्स का इंटरनल रेजिस्टेंस इनफाइनाइट होता है. सो इक्वेट दिस with this infinite, and when you will get this when you this denominator makes 0, right? So this is nothing but your 0, right? Then only you will get this value. Now solve this, you will get omega square. So this is 1 because j is taken out outside. Okay, so when you solve this you will get omega square is equal to 16, and omega is nothing but the 4 radian per second. So this is value of omega. Okay, so for ideal current source, internal resistance is infinite, and for ideal voltage source internal resistance is 0. So by this you can easily find out the value of this frequency. Yes, we have covered almost all concept regarding this AC circuit analysis. There are some more points which is a duality and this magnetic circuit, but that are not in your syllabus. But still, those are want to learn that concept. You can read it out with your own. If anyone has any doubt, I can clear your doubt also. But officially, this is our syllabus and we covered all the concept. Only you need to practice more as you can, and if you have any doubt, please ask. So in next lecture I will start your unit number 2, and I will give you an assignment. You need to submit it, and in our next Saturday, next Saturday, not this, I will take one test for this unit number 1, and you need to prepare it because that marks will be decided in your internal marks. Okay. Okay, if you have any doubt you can ask, or if you have no doubt so you can leave. Yes, anyone has any doubt or you want to ask any question? Okay, thank you for joining us.